What podcast reviewer 37 describes as an indiscriminate hellish ride that I would not wish on my worst enemy. The industry's elite have said time and again, man, fuck those guys. Get ready, if your ears had butts, they'd about to be fucked. Welcome to the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show.
It's going to Earth. Yeah, is that where they go? The Gungans?
They live underwater.
Yeah, it turns out it's Gungans.
The aliens pop up. He's like, it's me, Jaja. Anyways, welcome everyone to a brand new episode of the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. We're probably going to talk about this on this episode. Or maybe it should be its own episode.
I don't know.
Whatever. We'll see how long we get at a fucking
Where else would it go?
90s. I don't know. I mean, that's it. Just talk about that, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, this episode, I'm Josh, he's Adam, and this week we're going to talk about fucking why I think humanity peaked in the 90s, man, and why there's no... Late 90s, early 2000s was like the peak of humanity. It was the peak of everything, in my opinion. Everything else has just been shit from there and continues to get worse.
Pre-2001, pre-9/11.
Pre-9/11. Like, 9/11 was the fucking difference maker. I mean, it was okay for a couple years after that, and then it just tanked. But before we get into that, if you want to follow us on YouTube, go to Game Rage Magazine. We only need 17 subscribers now, so go subscribe there. Also, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X, Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. And go check out the All Gas No Trash podcast. Also, if you like anime, you can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. And you can go check out the Anime Syndicate podcast. All right. So, I've been getting a lot of these things on my fucking TikTok and Instagram feeds lately, all those like nostalgia things talking about how things were like so much better or whatever. And I don't know if it's because I've been seeing it so much, but I kind of think I'm starting to buy into it. I think I might believe it now that like the 90s, like the 90s and the early 2000s were like the peak of humanity. And now everything's just like devolving, man. That was peak awesomeness. Now, in terms of like technology, yes, everything's just continues to rise, right? In terms of technology and all that shit. But I'm just saying, like, the time of being alive and like what was available to us and like how the world worked, I guess, in our view, like, I feel like that time period was like, that was the tits. The late 90s, I mean, as a kid, like nowadays, I mean, we grew up in that time period, right, as kids. But like nowadays, man, if you do some dumb shit like we were doing back then, you would be an internet meme. Like if some of the shit that we did back in the day, I'll tell you right now, I would have been multiple memes like on the internet. Which, man, I don't even know how you fucking live with that like nowadays. But back then, oh man, that would have been the worst. But also in terms of like, I don't know, just everything in general, man. Sports, I feel like sports are just fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because we're getting old. Maybe that's what it is. But it just feels like that time period, everything was good. I mean, fuck, man. You look at, I don't know, wrestling's a good example, right? That was obviously the peak of wrestling, was the late 90s, early 2000s. Everything was great.
Cartoons
off the chains. Everything was good. I can't recall a cartoon from like the late 90s that was legitimately bad. I mean, even if you didn't like maybe that like genre or whatever, it was still like, I can still watch this as I'm waiting for my next cartoon to come on, the one that I want to see. Saturday morning cartoons, man, that was great. That there's not going to be another time period like that ever again now. Because Netflix, everything's digital, everything's instant gratification. And again, I'm going to, okay boomer, as I sip my white Monster and fucking have my wrapped sunglasses on.
Yeah, your Oakley.
My Oakley fucking shades. As I say that, I do think it's true. Like, kids don't know how good they have it now, but also I feel like that makes, because you can have shit instantly, it kind of makes it fleeting. It doesn't make, like, you get no anticipation or no buildup. You know what I'm saying? Like, every week we wanted to watch, I don't know, like,
Yugi Mans, Pokemans.
yeah, like, all the fucking cartoons, Animaniacs, fucking, Freakazoid, like, all those shows, right?
All the Marvel shit.
Yeah, all the Marvel shit. You have to wait Saturday morning, and you'd have to like go look you'd have to read in a book to find out what time shit was gonna be on. And then you'd go and like circle fucking what you wanted to watch so you could know, okay, like this is the order I gotta watch it in so I can see it. And then you were always like, fuck, because there were 4 channels that played cartoons. You had Saturday morning cartoons on CBS, you had them on NBC, you had them on ABC, and then Fox 11. I don't think Channel 9.
No, Fox 11 was like kind of
that was the end of it. And then 13 didn't have cartoons, I don't feel like.
They did.
Until later.
They had Pokemans at like 7 in the morning.
Yeah, that was during the week though.
And they also had Sailor Moon.
Yeah, like
I don't know why. And then Samurai Pizza Cats and fucking.
So you'd plot it out, and then what was cool is like if you missed it, that's when they played the reruns before school started. They started playing cartoons at like 6 a.m. during the weeks. They're like during the week you'd get to see all the reruns of shit that you missed from Saturday. And it was like, oh man, you spend the whole week, oh man, Saturday morning is gonna be off the chains. Fucking Friday night, like maybe you fucking have some friends come over, you go to fucking Blockbuster and rent a game. That's another thing. Dude, I saw this one meme about video games, like, and it was saying about, man, me and the boys, we used to attend midnight releases. Now all we do is push download. And I'm like, fuck that gets me, man. Like, we used to be able to do those things. We'd have to go, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Me and Frank went to GameStop and we fucking sat outside GameStop for the midnight release of that game. Halo 3, we did the same thing. Halo 2, fucking, all those big franchises, man, you'd have to go to the store, you had to sit there and wait in a line, and what was cool as fuck is you were talking to assholes that you had no fucking, you didn't know any of these guys, but you all knew one thing, that you guys all really liked Halo, or you all really liked whatever the fuck you were there for. And it's like that does not exist anymore. That is not a thing at all. And Blockbuster, another thing, or the rental stores, going to rent a movie or whatever. Oh, now y'all do is I just fire up my fucking Amazon or whatever and Fire Stick or whatever the fuck you're on, your Hulu, your fucking, what's that thing called? The Roku stick. You fire one of those up. Oh, I want to rent the newest movies that have come out. Oh shit, there's movies. You don't even have to go see the movies in the theaters anymore because of COVID. They're releasing this shit like after a week or two of it being in the theaters.
Yeah.
And you could just pay $19.99 and you can rent it at home and not even have to leave your house. So to me, dude, just going to the movie store, man. Friday night. Oh man, school gets out. Oh man, what are we gonna do this week, fellas? Oh, you get your little buddies together and you go like, all right. Somebody has their N64. Somebody has a fucking Dreamcast. Somebody has a fucking Super Nintendo, a PlayStation, or a PlayStation 2. And you get all your consoles. Everybody brings their shit, whichever house you're gonna go to. Everybody brings all their shit. And then fucking you sit there and you go like, all right, what are we gonna do? We got $18 right now between the fucking 3 or 4 of us. We can go to Blockbuster. We can rent a game, a movie, and get pizza with that 18 fucking dollars, man. And that is literally, that's our equivalent of, I remember when soda pop was 5 cents a can or 5 cents a drink at the fucking local soda shoppy. Because whether you want to admit it or not, movie rental stores are the soda shops of our generation, okay? They don't exist anymore. They're not going to exist. They went out of style or whatever the fucking case may be. But that's what it is. That's what that is for our generation. And yep, Friday night, you're like, cool, we're going to do that. We're going to have this, get some pizza, watch a movie, and then we're going to wake up Saturday morning at fucking 7 a.m. and we're going to fucking watch cartoons all day until noon when fucking that ultimate, what was that fucking, I can't remember the name of it. That one with it was the live action guys, and they would fight. It was like Mortal Kombat, but like it was like a karate tournament. It was like scripted. It was like wrestling. Like it was fucking great. It was a great show. Well, WMAC, World Martial Arts Council. It was WMAC Masters is what it was called.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up so you can see if you remember it. This show was on fucking, and they had Bruce Lee's daughter as like the host or whatever. Yeah, these fucking guys would like be on, and then they would all have like a Mortal Kombat gimmick. Like one guy was a cyborg, like the black guy was Cyborg.
I don't remember that shit.
Yeah, one of them, like this guy was Liu Kang. Like they had a Scorpion, they had a Sub-Zero kind of guy, and like it was just straight a live action Mortal Kombat ripoff, and it was like wrestling. They did promos before the matches. It showed them like training. That was like the backstage segments. This show was far ahead of its time, man. This is like in the mid 90s. This is like 95, 96. But this show was way ahead of its fucking time. And that usually came on at like 12. It was like noon or like 1 is when that would come on. And so like all the cartoons would be done, and then this would come on, and then we would wait. And then we'd go watch, because later on in the day, like around 3 or 4, WCW Saturday Night would come on. And then we'd fucking go watch that for 2 hours. And then fucking, then that would be your fucking weekend. And then, Sunday, you'd get all rounded up to have to go to fucking church. And that would be a pain in the ass. And fucking hope you didn't get molested by the priest or whatever.
Hope you didn't get molested by the priest.
You were playing Catholic roulette every time you went.
Hide the salami with the priest. Oh man, I think your nostalgist. It's clouding your memories, dude.
Of course it is.
Because thinking about it, I mean, dude, there was a lot of shit that kind of sucked dick. Like, if you really sit down and think about it, I mean, how many of the episodes of Pokemon were actually watchable?
Oh, that's true. Not many of them.
Because there was a lot of filler. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of bullshit.
That's true.
And every weekend I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait till next one comes out. And then it just, they're going to go on some side adventure.
They'd be like, they didn't do shit.
Yeah, like, come on, man, get to the goddamn gym leaders already.
But to me, that was because it was anime. It was an anime. It was a Japanese anime. The American cartoons, man, they got to the point, all right? Because you want to know why? They only had like 1 or 2 seasons to get this shit out. So like you had to get to the point, all right? You remember that Mighty Ducks show? They had the Mighty Ducks, the cartoon?
I barely remember that one.
I really enjoyed that show, but it had like 1 season, I think. And not because it was bad, because they're like, all right, man, it was a licensed kind of thing from like the hockey team and like all this weird shit. They're like, all right, we got to tell a fucking story. We got 12 episodes, and that's pretty much all we're going to get. So we got to fucking tell a coherent story and make people want to keep coming back and watching it. Fucking Gargoyles.
Gargoyles, yeah.
That was a great show, man.
It was.
And what's crazy, if you think about it, you look at Gargoyles, okay, it only had, I think, like 3 seasons maybe, which equates to like maybe 36 total episodes. Each season was about like 8 to 12 episodes. Man, we don't realize it now, but the scope of how long it took that shit to come out, I felt like, man, Gargoyles had 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was just them repeating the same episodes over and over again.
Yeah.
Because once you have your initial run, 36 weeks, that's all you got for new episodes was 36 weeks. That's like 6 months.
Yeah.
So but in the scale of things as a kid, like I guess you just don't really realize it until now. Camp Cretaceous is like one of those Netflix shows that's real big with like the kids or whatever. They drop 12 episodes every time it comes out. Like you get them all at once.
Yeah. I also think there was like absurdly stupid shows. I don't know why they were successful. Fucking Biker Mice from Mars.
I love that fucking show, man. Don't even get me started on that.
Extreme Dinosaurs with like fucking dinosaurs with like that I hated that shit. Shoulder pads. Shoulder pads on like numerous Cable from X-Men. It was just kind of a big thing in comics. It was fucking wacky shit.
Oh yeah, man. This show was awesome.
Extreme Dinosaurs. Oh my God, I hated the Street Sharks on the other hand. That was like one of my
That's my jam.
That was
man.
one of my favorites. But what other shit? Man, there was this stupid ass cartoon, and I don't remember what channel it was on, but I hated the way these guys look. Type in Dragonflies, dude. Dragonflies with a Z.
I feel like a dragonfly.
And they had toys for them where they would just like spin up in the air.
Oh shit! Yeah, because I remember those.
I'm like, this cartoon sucks mad dick.
Yeah, okay. But see, this was also a prime example of them doing the what you call it model, the Transformers model, where they would say, okay, we built this toy line, and now we want to make a cartoon to promote it. So I don't know if you remember, but there were these girl versions of these.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was the original thing. And then they were like,
we need to make a boy version.
oh, we need to make a boy version, but like, no boys are gonna want these gay ass things because they're fucking like they're for girls.
Yeah.
So we got to make a sweet cartoon to make them want to buy them.
Yeah.
But that was peak, like, oh, if you knew that, like, oh man, if there's a toy line that they want to fucking push, it's getting a cartoon. Biker Mice from Mars, dude, those toys were awesome. They had the most articulation points of like any fucking toys at the time because they rode on the motorcycles, and then you also had to have them be like a regular action figure, so you could like move shit around. It was pretty good.
I do think cartoon and Nickelodeon probably peaked in the 90s with like all the great cartoons that came out. Fucking Two Stupid Dogs.
Oh, dude, I love that one. Two Stupid Dogs.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Ren and Stimpy. Man, I don't remember what bullshit. I can't remember what other thing. I mean, there was Kablam. Like that was on Friday nights on Nickelodeon.
You remember Ah Real Monsters?
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. That one fucking slapped. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of things like that were not positive in the 90s. I mean, that weird. You know that print on the cup, like the 90s cup?
Oh yeah.
It's like spray paint, but it has like a zigzag and there's like a circle.
And then like squares and
that shit was everywhere. Like it wasn't just on a cup. Like that was like how malls looked in some. Yeah.
Oh, that's another one. Malls?
Yeah, malls.
I mean, they still kind of exist, but like they are not prominent at all.
No.
Fuck, man. I think the last time I went to a mall was because I think like me and Katie wanted to go just to take Chloe so she could experience one in case they fucking ever went out of business. You can say she fucking went to a mall.
I think the reason that they died,
Amazon.
Oh, that Amazon, but like there was no uniqueness between one and another one. You know, like there's a mall here, but there's a mall over in, let's say, like 60 miles from us, and they all pretty much have the same thing. So there's no real novelty. Like the boutique, small shops, which is like probably the main motivation of having a mall is to like bring people for commerce, right? Like, but everybody has the same shit. Like every fucking thing has like an Auntie's pretzels or whatever the fuck, or they all have fucking what other snacking shit was at malls?
Mrs.
Wetzel's
Fields.
Pretzels.
You remember Mrs. Fields?
Yeah. Those. Okay, I went to the mall recently. I had a Mrs. Fields cookie, and I will say, I don't know. The last time I had that shit was probably when I was a kid, and these cookies straight up taste like dog shit. Like they don't taste fresh.
That sucks, man.
They don't. They're not like soft. They're not.
So I don't know if you remember this, but it was in like the early 2000s ish. They had these cookies, and they were like Sesame Street characters. So they'd have like an Elmo one, and they'd have like a Cookie Monster one, and like a Big Bird one. And they would basically just be a chocolate chip cookie, but they'd take a shit ton of frosting and draw the whole thing, like would be filled in with like Elmo or whatever, right? Those were amazing because they would fucking make them. They'd be sitting in the thing, they'd toss them back in the oven, and then they'd pull it out, and then they'd ice it, and then they'd hand it to you.
Yeah.
And it'd be like super fresh, delicious. It was like that warm cookie with the cold frosting, and then I'd get an icy to go with it. So like you'd be on a sugar fucking goddamn rush after that, because that's like 800 grams of sugar right there. Man, it's a surprise we don't all have fucking diabetes. It's like we didn't have childhood diabetes like with all the sugar we used to fucking eat.
Dude, you remember the Disney store?
Oh yeah, man.
I didn't really care for that store, but sometimes because they had like all the way to the back, they would have like a theater.
Yeah,
it was a movie screen, but they would just show clips. They wouldn't show the whole movie, but in that they had like this whole I don't know what you would want, like a barricade, like a U-shaped barricade, and there would just be plushies like thrown in there, like different Disney characters. I would jump in that shit, even though you weren't supposed to, but I did it anyways.
Yeah.
Because I was like, fuck it. Every time I went into that store, I would like jump in that shit.
For food, another good one, hot dog on a stick.
Oh, that shit's still good.
Exclusively at malls. I don't think I've ever been to one outside of a mall.
Hot dog on a stick, yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I like their breading. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that batter that they use is amazing, and for some reason, in combination with their mustard, is fire. Man.
Yeah,
it's straight fire.
It's not like a trash wiener, like a fucking like a movie theater wiener, dude.
Yeah, like it's good.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, we might have to go to the Tyler Mall and go to hot dog, because I think there's still a hot dog on a stick there, along with a Cinnabon.
Yeah, that shit has not gone out.
Oh man, we might have to go just to get one. You know what, man? We should do that for the first episode of the food podcast. We should go get hot dog on a stick. We should just call the episode Mall Food, and then we go get hot dog on a stick, a Cinnabon, go up to the food court and see if they got any shit up there. Fucking man, or go to Ontario Mills, like, because they have a huge food court.
Oh yeah, they do. Dude, I mean, my poor taste in pizza, dude. Sbarro's.
Sbarro, yeah, that used to be the fucking hot dog. You know what was crazy too is the Miguel's Jr. that used to be in the mall.
It's still there, I think. It's still there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Because I remember like going to the mall and being like, oh, what? They have one outside of fucking where we're at? Oh man, that's cool. And then and for some reason the bean and cheese burritos at the one at the mall always tasted better. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but man, those were always way better than the ones at the restaurant or the drive-through ones here.
So I'm trying to think of shit negative to say about the 90s. Waiting in lines.
Not a lot.
Tickets, actually buying tickets for concert, like you had to go to like some...
Oh yeah, to a place and buy the actual ticket. Or like fucking going to like baseball games and stuff. Like you had to go buy your tickets outside of the stadium. You had to go stand and wait in line at the stadium to buy your tickets for the day.
Internet was dog shit. Most internet pages were just basic like HTML shit.
Dude, man, but it was the most advanced shit. We thought it was amazing at that time. Yeah, compared to now, it sucks.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing that I saw, one of the things was talking about how like that was the time period when you were only online when you sat in front of the computer.
Sat in front of okay. Yeah.
Like right now, you're technically always online with this little fucking computer in your pocket.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, think about.
And also, I mean, there was all the different messengers like
AIM. MSN had its own messaging.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck was I talking about? Teenagers. I mean, what could I possibly what kind of conversations was I having as a teenager? Talking about fuck knows what, like
boobs.
Yeah,
probably. That's what I was talking about. I'm sure Yu-Gi-Oh,
or I mean, yeah, whatever dumb shit. Skype.
Oh,
but I mean, that was a little bit further down.
That one came down in the 2000s, I think. But
I mean, what other bullshit things? What things sucked about the 90s and early 2000s?
Having to order shit from catalogs.
That was whack.
Like, listen, I'll be honest. Amazon is way better than any of that shit. Like, the fact that I can just literally go on my phone and order, again, like I needed an Xbox controller. I was like, sure. In the 90s, I would have had to have either ordered it through a catalog and waited 6 to 8 business weeks, or I would have had to have waited, like last night was when I was like, you know what, fuck, I need to just get a new one. And I'm like, oh, it's like 9:30 at night. Best Buy or, well, at
all
time,
closed.
Circuit City, all things were closed. So you had to wait until either the next day to go, and then you had to get your ass up, and well then, you couldn't even go get it yourself. You had to get one of your parents to fucking be like, hey man, you want to go take me to fuck? And then if your parents were like, man, I ain't going to Best Buy today, shut the fuck up. Even if you did have your own money to buy it, we ain't going to Best Buy today. We'll go maybe next week. Fuck, man, I gotta wait another week or two? Now I can just literally fire it up and order it. Like, and that's it. It'll literally, last night I ordered it at like 9 p.m. It was delivered between like 4 and 8 a.m. this morning. I think I got here like 5:30 in the morning.
I know something that sucked mad dick. Things having, I guess like automated lighting with smartphones. Man, Game Boys, you had to buy a goddamn attachment.
Yeah. You remember you could buy the screen that you could zoom in on it and make the screen bigger? Like it was a magnifying glass and it made the screen appear bigger?
Or you had to fucking like chill under a lamp to play video games at nighttime. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, that sucked, man.
Or, I mean, the fact that it's a double-edged sword. Purchasing a video game and getting everything within that game, but also not having DLC. So you bought something and that was it.
That was it. That's all you get.
That shit kind of sucked.
Yeah, it kind of did. But, and then the expansion packs would be like another disc, and then it would be just cheaper though. It'd be like, oh, if the game was $40, oh, you'd get like let's say it was like, I don't know, fuck, whatever, like Halo. It'd be like, oh, Halo, you get the disc. And it's like, oh, we have some additional content. You got to buy another disc, but instead of it being 40, it's only like 15 or 20 bucks. But you get a little more.
Yeah.
You get extra. So, yeah, that was fucking crazy. What else sucked, man? Not a whole lot. Play places were fun. They don't have those anymore, really.
DZ Discovery Zone with the fucking pinroll slider.
That thing was
jamming
awesome,
my
man.
fingers and shit.
I fucking had multiple injuries at DZ Discovery Zone. Those couldn't exist today just because everybody sues everybody now. Like, those just could not exist. Like, I got injured so many fucking times, dude. I think I tore an ACL. Fucking dislocated my shoulder there. Fucking like, oh yeah, all kinds of shit. Fucking, I think one of the employees popped it back in and they were like, all right, you're good. And then it was a different time. You couldn't do that nowadays. So, I don't know. It's a fun time. Anyways, what else you got? Anything else?
No, I was trying to find more reasons to shit on music or in the 90s, but
everything's good.
I mean, like I said, my hatred for Nirvana, or not Nirvana, well, I mean, I'm kind of lukewarm about them, but I think I've always hated Green Day. And that's one thing that's like stood the test of time. I always fucking hated Green Day.
And they're still here somehow.
And now they're headlining fucking Coachella, which we're probably going to talk about in the next episode of All Gas and Trash.
That we are.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right, well, fuck, that'll be the end of it. All right, go check us out on YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. Subscribe. Also go to Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok. Game Rage Mag on Twitter/X. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram.
All right, before we go, there's one thing I wanted to say.
All right.
When DVDs came out,
okay,
and you would get the DVD placed inside, and then the whole cycle of like all the goddamn advertisements before you would get to the menu screen.
Oh man,
that shit sucked mad dick.
Hey, but you know what's funny? Like YouTube does that now still, where you have to you're forced to watch an ad.
Yeah.
But you couldn't turn that off. You couldn't skip it. You couldn't do none of that shit. You had to sit there and watch that shit.
Unless you press the menu button like 1,000 times over.
And then eventually you could get to the menu. You could circumvent it. Or like one of the ways to circumvent it was if you hit the chapter button, it would bring you to that portion of the menu where the chapters were instantly, and then you could navigate there back to the main part. But man. Anyways, all right. I guess that's the end of it then. So yeah, go. Also you follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. And that's it. We'll catch you guys on the next one. This has been the Butt Fuck Nowhere Show. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Also on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also visit our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com, for a host of other podcasts and more. Thanks for listening.